ACC Network's Eddie Royal is joining us here on Radio Row on the Adam Gold Show. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. You like your new vantage point?
Yeah, I'm not used to being on TV with
No way,
radio.
of course
I'm
you
like,
are.
which is
Oh,
this?
I see.
What do we?
We're live on YouTube all the time.
Okay,
This
yeah.
is the way it works these days.
Yeah.
ACC football has kind of been through it. You know, the public perception of the league over the last several years has been, well, but whatever. The brand name schools, when the brand name schools are good, everything seems better.
Yep.
Virginia Tech's a brand name school.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State kind of returned to it last couple of years. Been good to see. It's been good for the league. Virginia Tech's return would be great for the league. And I know when you were there, man, you guys were cranking out double-digit wins all the time.
Yeah.
What is it like seeing what we think is going to be a resurgent Hokies?
For me, outside of work, it's great. And the conference, it's great. Just because, like you said, the brand is so huge. And when Lane Stadium gets rocking, it's one of the best atmospheres. It is the best atmosphere in all of college football. A night game in that place, man, you can't touch it. And so seeing the other schools come up, you got the Clemsons, the Florida States. They've kind of always been there the last few years, but now it's time. We got NC State and Virginia Tech and a couple other schools. Louisville's going to be good.
Yeah.
And so it'll bring some respect to the conference because a lot of people overlook the ACC.
Right.
Because of who knows why. I still don't understand it. ACC's putting out a ton of great players in the NFL, well-coached teams. When you turn on the TV and you watch ACC football, it's a great brand of football. That's why the people that really know football aren't saying that the ACC is a bad conference. So it's huge for us to get Virginia Tech playing well again, and I believe it'll happen.
Can you separate yourself from Hokie football?
Yeah, I can.
You don't have to.
No, you don't have to. But I want to do my job well.
Right.
And I know that I got to be honest. I'm an honest guy.
Right.
I can't watch bad football and not say that it's bad football. So I think they appreciate that about me. That I'll be honest. I get on there and tell the truth. And I think that's all you could ask for from someone representing your school.
How was Brent Pry? This is year 3. How did he kind of turn it around? It was like middle of last year where they started to finally find it.
Yep.
How did he do that?
Yeah, I think it was getting the right quarterback in there. Hey, players make coaches look great. Good players make coaches look great.
Yeah, it wasn't Frank Beamer. It was the likes of Eddie Royal.
Right. No. Hey, when you got them together, that's when you got something special. And so I think that's what we saw Coach Pry figuring it out and figuring out his coaching style, and Tyler Bowen really, especially on the offensive side of the ball, figuring out what's going to work for this offense and give them an explosive type of offense. And Kyra Jones offered that. It was hard for him to win the starting spot without being tackled. When you go through camp, because he's a big physical quarterback and he can run and make plays, and when you don't see that, you don't get the full picture of what you have. Right. So once they got an opportunity to see that, they were able to mold the offense around him, and that's when things really took off for them.
Eddie Royal, ACC Network, former Virginia Tech Hokie. All right, we'll leave the Hokies in the background for a second. Let's talk about the Wolfpack, because you mentioned them.
Yeah.
There's a lot expected. They're not one of those. I think they're a brand, but they're not one of the Clemsons, Florida States, Virginia Techs, Miamis. But they're that next tier of ACC schools that, when they're good, makes the league look a lot better. I think they could be legitimately good.
I know they'll be legitimately good because Dave Dorn does a heck of a job with those guys. When you had issues at the quarterback position, it kind of changes everything.
Right.
You need a leader, a guy who you can trust out there. And Brennan Armstrong kind of went through injuries, and it was a weird year for them at the quarterback position.
It was.
Threw it all off. Defense played lights out all year long. You expect that from an NC State team, and that's what happened. Now you got stability at the quarterback position. They got a couple running backs. One particular, Jordan Waters, who's, to grab him from Duke was one of the best gets in the transfer portal that nobody's talking about.
Right.
So to solidify the running back position as well, a spot that they've had issues with for the last couple of years as well, to get those two positions taken care of, that alone is going to push them over the hump, because you lose a guy like Peyton Wilson, but it's a Dave Doran defense. Those guys are going to be flying around. They're going to be hitting hard, and they're going to bring that energy and toughness that you're used to seeing.
Yeah, you talk about, I mean, Peyton Wilson was an amazing player. They will have guys. Devin Van will have a good year, and they have a bunch of other guys. I think Aiden White is back. But the offensive side of the ball, where they ultimately became a one-man show with KC Concepcion last year. But Waters is in. They've got other running backs behind him, but then now they have the bell cow, so to speak.
Yeah.
But they've got other wide receivers now.
Yeah.
Bringing Noah Rogers back to Raleigh from Ohio State. They seem to be a much deeper, more various offense.
Yeah, when you give Robert and I weapons, it's like, watch out, because he was handcuffed, like you said, and the fact that he was able to move KC around as much as he did and get him the amount of touches and amount of production that he had, when you know that that's the one guy that you have to stop, I was blown away by it. So the fact that you give him a couple more weapons, a running game, a quarterback who knows how to distribute the ball and is very accurate and plays with great timing, this is going to be a dangerous offense. And I know Coach Doran probably doesn't want us hyping him up like this.
Too late.
But I'm really excited about what they can do.
Yeah, we're putting pressure on Dave Doran today. Eddie Royal, before we let you go, you're as an old wide receiver, do you have a favorite wide receiver in the league you like to watch?
There's a few. I like a lot of guys, and I talk to a decent amount of them, so I don't want to pick any of them out. But I'm trying to think of if we've added anybody that yeah, I'm not gonna pick one because I don't want anybody mad.
Talk to me about KC. What does KC do well?
KC, I said it, and he reminds me of Percy Harvin a little bit. You know, the fact that he could do so much, he's so explosive, and you can't stop him. I mean, and he's must-see TV, right? Yeah. The fact that you can line him up in the backfield, give him a jet sweep, he does it all, and he's a competitor. Like you don't have to talk to him to know that. You don't have to be around him to know it. You can see it. And those guys, man, that brings that energy and that winning attitude to a team and excitement. And you just pull for guys like that. So he's definitely one of my favorite receivers to watch in the league.
There are people that when you said Percy Harvin went, oh, okay, because I think we all knew Percy Harvin was like a one-of-one type of a guy.
Yeah,
he really was. Eddie Royal, ACC Network, I thank you very much for hanging out, man. I hope we can do it again.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thanks, man.